Imagine it's 9 at night, the phone rings, and your granddaughter's voice. She's crying, and she says she's been in an accident. She's at the police station, and she needs $3,000 for a bond, and please do not tell Mom. Every instinct you have says help her right now. Well, here's a calm version of you, the one who watched this video. And you say, of course, honey, stay right there. I'm going to call you right back. And you hang up, and you call her real number. And she answers from her couch because she was never in an accident. Last year, Americans over 60 reported losing billions of dollars to fraud, not over a lifetime, in a single year. That figure has more than doubled in 3 years. And part of it is a scam that barely existed 3 years ago, because it needed a technology that has only just gotten good in it. A scammer can now copy a voice, your daughter's voice, your grandson's voice, from a few seconds of sound pulled off a birthday video, and then use it to call you late at night, crying, saying they are in trouble and they need money right now. Well, here's the good news, and it is the whole reason for this video. This scam sounds unstoppable. Well, it's not. The technology is genuinely frightening, but the thing that beats it is not more technology. It is one small, old-fashioned human habit that a machine cannot fake. And I'm going to show you exactly what that habit is, straight from the government's own guidance, in one simple picture of how fast this is growing. So a quick word about myself. I'm Han Brown, and this is The Han Brown Show. Think of it as a channel with calm room where AI, policy, and aging get explained, without the fear and without the sales pitch. This is education, not advice. So let's take the fear out of this one. Start with how the trick actually works, because once you see the moving parts, it stops feeling like magic. The old version of this was a grandparent scam. Someone calls, says they are your grandchild. They're in jail or in a car accident, and they need money before anyone finds out. For years, that scam had a weakness. It did not really sound like your grandchild, so you could hear the wrong voice and hang up. Well, AI took the weakness away. The Federal Trade Commission spells it out in plain language. A scammer, they say, could use AI to clone the voice of your loved one. All he needs is a short audio clip of your family member's voice, which he could get from something posted online, and a voice cloning program. Well, sit with how low that bar is. A short clip, not an hour of recordings, a few seconds. A birthday video, a graduation, a church post, a voicemail greeting. Well, that's enough now for a stranger to make a copy of a voice you have known for your whole life. And you don't need to scrub every photo and video off the internet to feel safe. That is not the lesson. And it's not realistic for a family that likes to share their grandkids. Well, the lesson is simpler than that. Just assume from today that a voice can be copied, and stop letting the voice all by itself be your proof. So the call comes, and it is their voice, and they're panicking, and your heart drops. And that's the point. The voice is not really the weapon. The panic is the weapon. So I'll come back to that, because that is where this whole scam falls apart. Well, first, let me show you why this matters so much right now, and not just as a scary story. This is what older Americans have reported losing to fraud year by year to the FBI. In 2022, it was about $3.1 billion. The next year, 3.4. The year after that, almost 4.9 billion. And in 2025, $7.7 billion. For more than 200,000 people who came forward, and many more who never do. Well, that line more than doubled in 3 years. The voice cloning scam is not the only thing driving it, but this one earns its place in the story because it makes the oldest trick in the book suddenly believable. So now here is where I want to be a good skeptic with you. The way you would want a friend to be. When something sounds this frightening, the right question is not just, is it real? The right question is, what actually makes it work? And where is it weak? So let's test it. The scammer has a copy of the voice. It's frightening, yes. But think about what he still does not have. He does not know your family's private history. He does not know the name of the street you grew up on, or your dog, or the inside joke only the two of you share. He is working from a voice and a guess. In every single one of these calls, no matter how good the voice, ends in the same way, with a demand. So the FTC lists the demands to watch for. They want you to wire money, or send cryptocurrency, or go buy gift cards and read the numbers on the back. Stop right there. No real grandchild in real trouble has ever needed you to pay a lawyer in gift cards. That request by itself is a scam showing its face. Banks do not work that way. Courts do not work that way. Only scammers work that way because those payments cannot be traced or reversed. So the voice gets you scared, and the scared gets you to pay before you think. So that's the machine, two parts, a believable voice and a rush payment. And the beautiful thing is, you only have to break one part to stop the whole thing. So which brings me to the next habit, the one that the machine cannot beat. And it is simply this: hang up and call them back yourself. That is the FTC's actual advice in their own words. Do not trust the voice. Call the person who supposedly contacted you using a phone number that you know is theirs and verify the story. If you cannot reach them, call another family member. Well, think about why that works so completely. The scammer controls the call that comes in. He does not control the call that goes out. When you hang up and dial your grandson's real number, one of two things happens. He picks up, safe and confused, and the whole thing collapses. Or he does not pick up and you call his mother, and you find out in 90 seconds that he is asleep in his own bed. The clone voice cannot survive you making one outbound call. It has no answer for it. So there's a second habit, older than the internet, that families are bringing back for exactly this reason: the code word. A simple word or phrase that your family agrees on now in calm, so that if anyone ever calls in panic asking for money, you can ask for one word. The real family member knows it. A clone voice does not. To be clear, that one is not official government advice, but it's a good sense that a lot of families are adopting. And it costs nothing to set up Sunday dinner. So pick something a scammer could never guess and a computer could never find. Not a birthday, not a dog's name that's all over your social media. Something odd and private. The street your first apartment was on, the made-up word from a family joke. Say it out loud together one time, and you're done. Notice what both of these have in common. Neither one fights the AI. You are never going to out-listen a good clone, and you should stop expecting yourself to, but instead, you step around it with a phone call and a word. The scarier the technology gets at faking a voice, the more your safety comes back to something the technology cannot touch: a habit, a relationship, a number you already have. So now there is a close cousin of the scam, and it wears a government uniform. So let me put it to rest in the same breath. A lot of these calls pretend to be from Social Security or Medicare or the IRS. They say your number has been suspended or there is a warrant and you must pay now to make it go away. Well, here's a rule that ends every one of those calls. Social Security Administration, in its own words, will never threaten, scare, or pressure you to take an immediate action. Government agencies do not call to warn you of arrest, and they do not demand payment over the phone. So the threat itself, the arrest, the suspended number, the pay now or else, is a tell. The moment a caller threatens you or rushes you, you already have your answer. It is a scam. So hang up. And do not let the number on your screen change your mind. Scammers can fake what shows up on caller ID. So it can read Social Security or your bank or even a family member and still be a stranger. The name on the screen is not proof. The callback that you make is. So let me put this together with a picture. And I want to be clear, this is an illustration. Imagine it's 9 at night. The phone rings and your granddaughter's voice. She's crying and she says she's been in an accident. She's at the police station and she needs $3,000 for a bond. And please, please do not tell mom. Every instinct you have says help her right now. Well, here's a calm version of you. The one who watched this video. And you say, of course, honey. Stay right there. I'm going to call you right back. And you hang up and you call her real number. And she answers from her couch because she was never in an accident. The voice on the first call was real enough to fool anyone. It just couldn't survive you hanging up and dialing out. And that's the whole defense. It really is that ordinary and that strong. But one more thing, because someone watching has already been through this or loves someone who has, if a call like this ever does get you and money is gone, hear me clearly. You were not foolish. You were rushed by professionals who do this all day. Move fast and skip the shame. Call your bank right away because a wire or a transfer can sometimes be stopped in the first few hours. Then report it. The FTC takes reports at reportfraud.ftc.gov, and the FBI takes them at ic3.gov. Reporting gives you a paper trail, and it feeds every numbers we just looked at, the ones that help these people get caught. So your report protects the family. But let me bring this home to the actual wig, because it's the only thing that matters here. You do not need to become a technology expert. You do not need to be able to spot a fake voice, because honestly, soon, none of us will be able to. You need 2 small habits. Set up while everything is calm. Here's one thing to do this week. Have the conversation at dinner. Tell the people you love the plan out loud, so it's not a surprise in the moment. The plan is simple. In this family, if a call ever comes asking for money in a hurry, we hang up and we call each other back on the numbers we already have. Nobody gets in trouble for it. And then pick your code word together. One silly, memorable word. And agree that a real emergency call can always be checked with it. That's it. A phone call and a word. Against the scariest technology in the world, those 2 old habits win almost every time because they were never about the voice. They were about the relationship, and the machine cannot clone that. So what I would tell my own family is what I would tell you. Do not spend your energy being afraid of what AI can fake. Spend 5 minutes building 2 habits that make the fake point. Fear tells you to freeze and pay. Love tells you to hang up and call back. Choose a callback. I'm Han Brown, and this is the Han Brown Show. And I'm glad that you stuck around. The newsletter below is how you get notified the moment the next breakdown is ready. I'll see you there.